Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about UCED 2024 registrations. But before we move into the registration, we'll also talk about what exactly UCED exam is. So if you are somebody who already know about UCED exam, what is UCED, how many parts are there for UCED, what's qualifying marks and things like that, you can directly skip to the registration part of this particular video. For those who don't know about UCED, I'll elaborately explain about what exactly UCED is. So UCED is basically Undergraduate Common Entrance Exam for Design. That's what UCED acronym stands for. UCED is basically written by those students who want to do a course of BDes, that is Bachelor of Design at IITs. So 5 Indian Institute of Technologies offer this course of BDes, that is Bachelor of Design. Now, before we move into its registration and all, I'll quickly, briefly take you through what exactly UCED is. The dates of the same has already come. Registration has already started. It ends by 31st of October and the exam for 2024 is scheduled for 21st of January, that is Sunday. UCED has 2 parts to it, Part A and Part B. Now, Part A has different types of questions, numerical or multiple choice questions, multiple select questions and all. I'm sure you might have already come across questions like that. So after you write your Part A, there is a Part B to it. Now Part B is the drawing part. So Part B has good amount of weightage. This time they've increased for 2024, they've increased the amount of weightage. So Part A has 200 marks and Part B has 100 marks. Now in case of Part A, there are various types of questions and based on the type of questions, the weightage or the negative mark also keeps on varying. So we have shared it in the screen of how exactly is the negative marks and what are the total marks, maximum marks that you can get in Part A. Now that is the first part. Part A is complete. When we come to Part B, they have 2 questions in it. One is the sketching question which they usually ask, that is for 50 marks. The other question that they have newly introduced from 2024 onwards is the design aptitude question also. Now that design aptitude question very interestingly has the same amount of weightage as the sketching question. So 2 questions in Part B, both of them carrying 50 marks. So 200 for your Part A, 50 first question in Part B, 50 second question in Part B, combining together 100 of Part B. So 200 marks in Part A, 100 marks in Part B. Combining both of that together, when you write the exam and finish it, you get a total marks out of 300. The person who scores the highest out of that obviously has rank 1, so on and so forth. Based on that rank, you apply to various IITs that you are interested in. The BDes that are offered at different IITs include IIT Bombay, IIT Guwahati, Delhi, IIT Jabalpur and also Hyderabad. We don't know, there might be new IITs that could be coming up which would start offering BDes, but as of now, these are the 5 IITs that are there. Now, one very interesting question that most of the students ask about is regarding the qualifying marks. What's the qualifying mark for UCED or what's the cutoff for UCED? It's not that UCED has a qualifying marks or cutoff marks. It's a misconception actually. It is only the Part A of UCED that has qualifying or cutoff marks. So what happens is it's your Part A that will be evaluated initially. Once your Part A is evaluated, if you clear the cutoff, so in the screen you can see which are the cutoffs, which is the cutoff mark in each year in the last 2 or 3 years. Based on category also it varies. So if you clear that cutoff, then only your Part B will be evaluated. So that cutoff is basically to ensure that whether your Part B has to be evaluated or not. And if you clear the cutoff of Part A, Part B gets evaluated and you get a rank. One very interesting thing about UCED is that it's not just IITs in which you can get admission through UCED. So those are the participating institutes. 5 IITs are called the participating institute. So IIT Bombay conducts UCED. All the IITs including IIT Bombay, the 5 IITs that I talked about, combining all of them together, they take part in the counseling. But there are also some institutes which are called as result sharing institutes. These result sharing institutes will actually take your UCED scores. So where do you find that? If you go to the UCED website, you can find which are the result sharing institutes. Now, when I talk of the cutoffs, please make a point that these cutoffs keeps on varying from one year to another. Huge variation could be there. So please do not look at the last few years cutoff and decide that in 2024 it's going to be something like this. No, it varies. There is a specific formula for that and based on that only they arrive at the cutoff. So if the results are coming on March 8th, the cutoffs I think would be released probably 1 week ago or so. So March 2 or March 3 is when you figure out what is the cutoff. So you will write exam on January 25th and then in March only you will be able to figure out what is the cutoff. Okay. Now, one very interesting thing that they have introduced this year is the Part B evaluation criteria. There will be two different evaluators for Part B. So these two different examiners, after they evaluate the same set of questions, if the variation between their marks that they have allotted is greater than or equal to 20, that means there will be a third expert examiner who would be coming out. He or she would also evaluate Part B. So this is hopefully after a lot of complaints. This is happening probably because a lot of complaints were raised in the last few years that Part B evaluation was not going on correctly, or there are lots of complaints that were raised regarding the Part B evaluation, because Part B is something that's subjective, that has a lot to do with drawing, design, sketching and things like that. There are also other criteria that they have mentioned in Part B evaluation which you can go through. Okay, so this is the basic gist about UCEED. It's not just UCEED that you can write if you are interested in BDes Bachelor of Design. You can write NID, you can write NIFT. All these exams will be conducted in the month of December, January, February and all. So all of you are interested to all these courses. If you want to know further details, or if you want to prepare for these exams, you can obviously prepare with THiNC Institute of Design. We have our crash batches for students who are just completing their 12th standard, who will be completing the 12th by March 2024. We have crash batches. We also have weekend batches, and also for students who've dropped a year or taken a break after 12th standard, we have repeaters or regular batches. So any questions, any doubts you have related to these exams, registrations, how to register, or any issues you have, or if you want to know even how you can start preparing for these exams, you can contact us at 8086111933. Before we move into the registrations, there's a very small announcement that we want to talk about regarding the ThinkTober competition that's been happening throughout the month of October. So ThinkTober is basically the annual drawing and sketching contest that THiNC Institute has been conducting for the last 6 years. In this particular edition, there are 10 prompt words that will be given in the 31 days of October. So on an average, around every third or fourth day, there will be a prompt word that will be coming out. Based on that particular prompt word and the medium that's specified, you need to draw something and you need to submit it via your Instagram profile. Based on the submissions that we get, for every prompt, there will be a set of winners who will be selected based on various criteria that are decided by the jury, and there will be prize money also that will be given. It's a purely Instagram based competitions. So any doubt, question, queries you have related to all these competitions, you can directly DM us at Instagram. The ID is given below. Now, coming back to UCEED 2024 registration, I think you are all familiar with the UCEED 2024 website. You can go to the website, you can find the information brochure there. It's a very important document. Please go through that. You can also find the registration portal. Now, the exam is on 21st of January, that is Sunday, 3-hour exam, 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock in the noon. There are 5 different steps in the entire process for UCEED. That is, starting from the examination till you get into the college, there are 5 steps. To start off with, first and the foremost, most important one is the registration for the exam, followed by the exam. Third one is the results. Fourth one is the BDes application. That means basically the counseling process that's going to happen. And the last one is getting into these colleges. Okay, that means the admission part, the part wherein you get a letter, an offer letter, admission letter from all these corresponding IITs. These are the 5 steps. Obviously, we won't be able to discuss the last 4 steps. We'll only be discussing about the first step, that is the registration part. To start off with, you can go to the registration portal and click on the register part of it. You click on the register part, you will have to, first thing that you will have to enter is your email ID. You enter your email ID and give register, you will get a mail to your email ID. You get that particular email, you open that, there will be a link that will be provided. You click on that link, you'll be taken to a different website altogether, which is of UCEED 2024 registrations. You can give your very basic details, that's your name, your date of birth, which country, state you belong to, and things like that. Once you have done that and you click on register, you also have to give a password. So that will be the password along with the email ID which you will be using to log in every time you have to log in. So it will be something that we'll be using hopefully till the next year's July, August time. You register, you click on register, your email registration is complete. Then you have to go to the home page again and you have to start logging in. As I said earlier, for logging in, you'll have to use your email ID and also your password. You do both of that, you log in, you start giving your mobile details and you have to get it verified. When you're giving the mobile number, please ensure that you give a mobile number which has the facility of receiving SMS. IIT Bombay might send messages related to your examination or related to the counseling or related to the results, anything. So please ensure that the mobile number is active. It is a mobile which you will regularly be checking, something that you will have to use probably till the next year's August. Okay. Now, once that's done, there will be obviously an OTP that will be sent. You verify that. You can go into other details of yours, that is your name, your email address, your address where you're residing, date of birth, your category, mother's name, parents' name, and details and things like that. Once that is done, we are going to the most important part of this registration, which is uploading of documents. Any document that is uploaded faultily might result in your candidature in itself being removed, and you might miss out on the possibility or the chance of writing the exam. So this particular page that you're filling, that is the documents that you're giving, you have to give it with absolute care. Ensure that there are no mistakes. Ensure that you're absolutely sure about the documents that you're uploading. The documents are basically, one is your photograph and signature. It has a specified amount of size, file size, dimension and things like that. You can go to any particular website, just check randomly in Google about photo editing or image editing, and you'll be taken to any of the websites. You can resize it. You can resize the file with respect to the requirement that's there, and you can get that file and you can upload it. The next one is proof of date of birth. Please ensure that it's either your SSLC your 10th standard certificate or your passport or any of the date of birth official document which is either written in English or preferably Hindi, any of the two. Okay. After that, you can go to the qualifying exam certificate. Now that is one of the most important documents. So UCEED is an exam that you can only write 2 times in your life. One is basically when you're writing your 12th standard. For example, you're somebody who is writing your 12th standard in March 2024. So you can write it 2 times UCEED. One is in January 2024 and the next is in January 2025. So that's how UCEED has been conducting this for the last few years. We expect that that's probably the same way in which they'll be conducting it in the nearby future also. So ensure that if you are currently in 12th standard, ensure that you have to upload the Appendix 1. What is Appendix 1? You can find it either from the registration portal or you can also find it in the information bulletin, or if you have any doubts, you can contact us at 8086111933. Or if you're somebody who has completed your 12th standard, then you can upload the completed documents, the pass certificate, you can upload it. These are the 2 options that you have. Okay. The last document is the category certificate. Very, very important. Ensure that you do not change the format. You have to maintain the format that's provided by UCEED. You can upload that. So these are the 5 documents that are to be uploaded. Once you upload that, it's completed. So in the OBC certificate, they have very clearly mentioned that it has to be issued on or after the 1st of April 2023. So when you get the certificates, you might be somebody who has already written the UCEED last year. So please do not upload those documents. Ensure that the deadlines, date of issue has also been completed, is also correct according to the information brochure that's provided by UCEED. Okay, so keep that in mind. Issuing authority has also been mentioned by UCEED. Okay, so you can keep also that in mind. You have to ensure that it is the same issuing authority that's being provided. Any doubts related to this, please do not upload with doubts. Please contact us. 8086111933 is the number that you can contact. If you have doubts regarding our batches, if you're somebody who's preparing for probably UCEED or NID or NIFT and all, you can contact us in the number that's provided. Our new crash batches would be starting very soon. Okay, so these are the major things. Once you've uploaded these documents, you'll get a brief summary of what are the details that you have given, and you have to give a declaration and give the option of save and proceed. Once that is done, the amount that has to be paid, that is the exam registration fee, would be made visible. Okay, it varies for students. For example, students who belong to the SC, ST, PWD category will have to pay 1,900. For female category, all students of female category will have to pay 1,900 again. All other candidates will have to pay 3,800. So whatever is shown in your portal, that's the amount that you have to pay. There are multiple payment options that are there. You can click on them: Canara Bank, net banking, internet banking, and things like that. You can pay it. Once you have paid it, your registration form, that is a full summary of your registration form, would be visible. Take it down as a PDF, save it somewhere. It will be something that's very, very important. Okay. Now, if you have any doubts regarding things like, let's say for example, the issued OBC certificate is of different format. You have to know whether that will be accepted or not. You can also contact the UCEED help desk. So the UCEED help desk numbers have also been shared. Okay, so these are the major things that we had to talk about in terms of UCEED exam and also UCEED registration. So we hope you have got an idea about what is UCEED exam. We also hope that you have got an idea about how to register for UCEED 2024. If there are any further questions, any doubts that you have, you can contact us. We'll do further videos on how to prepare for these exams. We would do explainer videos, we would do videos on GK topics and things related to that. So for any further updates, you can subscribe to our channel. Any doubts, questions that you have, you can also DM us at Instagram, or you can contact us at 8086 111 933. Before I leave, let me remind you once again about the ThinkTober competition that will be happening from the 1st of October, 31st of October. So it's a purely Instagram based competition. You can contact us there. You can participate in the drawing and sketching contest. Until we see you in the next session, thank you everyone.